This is lesson 5. It's about world law, which means that we, the world, must create the law that governs our leaders. It's a case of things that leaders don't want, which is fact. They create wars, they create armies, they create the need to defend ourselves from leaders who are not fair or legitimate. They hide their failures in war. They create death and destruction. And the end result of it is that we need to govern our leaders with world law we, the world of humanity, make to govern them. Not by the ways that they do it now, which is without actual international policing. But once we make the law for ourselves, and the first law, of course, is don't go over your own border. You are constrained within your own border. What you do there is dependent upon the people who you govern, and whether or not there is law there or not. So we have to have a world with law in it. Not war machines, but law. And there are, all kinds of people who will stand up and say, you can't do that, we won't allow it, things like that. Because the end result is that they want power. And the most power that they can get is to kill someone else. Or more directly, the purpose is believe, fear, obey us. As is the cult of university. The cult of university is on display behind me. And we'll just take a minute for that. Every one of those things on the screen, each and every shark, is 100 million gigabytes of data. Every one of them is 100 million gigabytes of data. So, how many are there? Who cares? The reality is that each one of those sharks, and they're supposedly sharks, are 100 million bits of data. So what they're really telling you is that this is a genome project, and what they're really telling you is that all of the data, this is what they expect to collect as data over the next 10 years. And to do that with AI and so on. But what they really are telling you is that the microscopic genetic material that's in every cell of your body holds more than this amount of data. It literally holds more than this amount of data, and it's so small that you need a microscope to find it. You can't see it with your eye, and you can't just read it because it's all coiled up, because it takes, to get it into the space that's required, it has to be all coiled up. And so they use chemicals to make it stretch and what have you. But anyway, what they're telling you is that humanity is invading this world of data, this microscopic world of data that they need, a billion people working on, and trillions of dollars of your money to find out. And then, of course, once they have the information, which they are already doing, they intend to play God. They want to readjust the genetic material. They want to play God. They are the leaders of a war against life and world. They are the leaders of a war against life and world. That is what the university does. And as just the same as leaders that have an army, like Putin or Netanyahu or whatever it is, so many of them, they want to take from us our lives, our world, our nature, our future. Because they say they can. Yes, we can. That's their answer to everything. Yes, we can. No, you can't stop us. Yes, we can do it. But the end result of it is, if we don't stop them, they will make us extinct. And I don't say that by belief. I say that by the evidence. The evidence is that they can make us extinct. They literally can, because they have enough tools to do so. You know, the weapons of mass destruction that are spread throughout the world are from universities. The biological agents that can completely defeat us biologically by diseases that are so extreme and so dangerous that they should not exist at all in the hands of any human being, are spread throughout the university across this world and open to practically anybody that wants to view them or release them or mutilate them. You know, they have who knows how many geneticists across this world, and they're all working on these same projects to play God, to be God. And of course, the end result of that will be Armageddon. Nature will fall into chaos because it cannot compete with the people who are throwing chaos into it. And that's what they do. They throw chaos into genetic nature so that they can simply learn what fails. And what will fail is the fact that nature exists at all. In other words, they're playing Satan. They are playing God. They're playing Satan. Or Satan just simply means the arrogance, the apathy, and the disrespect that is so completely beyond reality that they actually kill our world. They kill all of creation. So world leaders includes the universities and their leaders of geneticists. They're leaders of those who of physics, those who are trying to ignite the same fire here as is on the sun. We have an endless supply of leaders that are completely destroying our world, our lives, our everything. We have what is it? 125, just derivatives alone across this world. It averages out, divides out to $125,000 per person. That's what it averages out to. $2 quadrillion, that's just the beginning of it, but you divide that by 8.2 billion people, and every single one of us should have $125,000. Every face on the planet, human face on the planet, should have $125,000 in their bank account or in their property holdings or whatever it is. That is not so. And that's just the credit or the bad credit. That's and there's a claim that by the world data that says, we have $540,000 or something a piece. It's just an enormously insane reality of liars and traitors and failures and thieves and cheats and whores and terrorists and everything bad. Everything bad is in charge of this world, is in charge of our lives, is making decisions that we have to pay for. And they've gone by these last 50 years with a simple statement, at least in this America, that says, let the children pay. That's our answer, let the children pay. But 50 years later, the bill is due. And the reality is that all those things that you did to fix your greed, to make your life great, or whatever it is you claim it to be, you stole from the future. And that, of course, is absolutely wrong. Is absolutely the death of the future, the intensive resource degradation and destruction of everything the future needs is constant. And so if we continue to let the leaders that are leading us into extinction by world war or any other means, we're just so stupid that we need to die. That's basically the reality of what we face. Leaders, we need to focus on leaders, not armies, not, we need to like Putin, for instance. He has made it clear that his destruction is intensive, and it is wrong, and it has no value in this world at all. and it has no value to the law, and it is the law that must govern us. It is the law that must govern us all. And that includes every leader, including Trump, and including the Chinese leader and the Korean leader. Everybody has to obey the law, or they're going to get taken to court. Or in terms of leaders, they're going to be targeted. You get to die. Come to court and explain what you're doing. Explain, try to make it clear to the world that you have a right to do this. And of course, at that point, we, the world, will let you, if you can expand that. But if you can't, you'll stop or you're going to die. And every leader says, no, 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 you can't do that because then they'll target us. But the reality is that we, the world of 8 billion people, 8.2 billion people, deserve better than a few people who say they won't die because they want to kill us. Let them die first, or let them die second. Tell the army that every nation, we don't want you. We're not trying to kill you. We're only going to kill your leader and give the nation back to its people, because their decisions are wrecking your world just like it's wrecking our world. Their decisions are destroying your future just like it's destroying the future for the rest of the society, for the rest of this planet, for the rest of humanity. Nobody gets to play God. Nobody gets to say they don't have to care. There are no consequences for them. Every leader has to obey the law. And we have to explain to them what our law is as a world. And of course, the first and only real important one is that you will not destroy other people. You will not destroy the other people. Stay within your own boundaries. Don't destroy the world. That's a given. You can't destroy the world for your own society or your own future or your own nation or your own resources. We cannot rebuild from a world war. It will not happen. There's nothing left now. The forests are desecrated to the point of near extinction, and that will let the atmosphere of this planet be released. Other planets have 700-mile-per-hour winds. And of course, the atmosphere doesn't have to be attached to this planet. The planet moves at 1,000 miles an hour at the equator, or roughly. And, why does the atmosphere go with us? It doesn't have to. It can become detached. And of course, then there's always we release the BTUs of about 5 billion gallons of gasoline. You do too. You drive your car, you heat your house, you heat your water, you heat this or that, or have air conditioning and so on. And every gallon of gasoline needs the amount of air 30 people need for a day. Every gallon of gasoline means it consumed the oxygen within the air that 30 people need for 24 hours. Or 150 billion people a year lose their air supply. That won't work. Destroying the future with destroying the resource, that won't work. Pollution beyond dimensions, garbage mountains beyond, that take away the entire future of life on Earth. That won't work. Poisoning every form of water on Earth will not work. But then again, leaders don't care. They all say in the universities are the worst of the worst of the worst, as they lead with the experts as they did with global warming. You can buy any expert you want. You just pay them. You can buy them all. It doesn't matter. You can buy any courtroom you want. You can buy any leader you want. You can take away our world if we don't stand up to the reality and the consequences of these are people who are destroying us. We cannot survive the things they do. We have to stop our leaders from destroying us. We have to create the law that will govern our world and ourselves, because we cannot afford not to. We have to do it. It is our purpose in life. because if we don't, we'll all die. And take every living thing with us, including their future. This is not a game. This is not me against the world, or you against the world, or the world against the world. It is simply the law that we must make, and we must enforce. With international policing, no, you can't focus on one nation of this or that, or a leader of this one or that one. It doesn't work that way. We all have to say, no, you can't. We all have to enforce, no, you won't. And that's just our